Good morning. It's Monday morning. Today we read from Matthew 10:24 and 25. A disciple is not above the teacher, nor a slave above the master. It is enough for the disciple to be like the teacher and for the slave to be like the master. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebul, how much more will they malign those of his household? You know, sometimes you wish Matthew had taken a little more time to explain things, right? So disciples below the teacher. The teacher teaches the disciple follows the teachings. That's fairly obvious, I think. And so the slave, same way with the master. The slave does what he's told, and the master tells him what he's to do. And so there's a kind of a hierarchy, which is fine. And then he says, if they call the master Beelzebul, then how much more will they malign those of his household? Now, Beelzebul is a Canaanite word. The Canaanites had a god called Baal Zebul, which meant the Lord, the Prince, or something like that. We talk about the Baals, Baal. Well, it's Baal, and that Al is very similar to the Hebrew El. It means Lord in a kind of a generic way. So the Baal Zebul is the chief of the lords, the King of Kings or something. And that was a name that the Jewish people, Jesus, typically used to refer to the evil ruler, so Satan. And so if they're calling the master of the house this name, this demonic name, then how much more will they malign those who follow that master? So if they're calling Jesus this, and they did back in chapter 9, then, then the disciples must also be evil. In chapter 9, they said, he cast out demons by the prince of demons. So his power, we recognize his power is real, but it's not of God. It's demonic, and it must be demonic, and so that means we can oppose him and even kill him. So you see how that all follows. And if they're going to call the master that, if they're going to call me that, Jesus says, then what more are they going to say to you, the followers? So you're going to be in trouble. And that's not a pleasant thought for us today either. But I guess we have to live with it. There will be people who think of Christians as, sort of stupid. How could you believe that fantasy? How could you be peacemakers or turn the other cheek or any of the things that Jesus says to do that are kind of against the grain of normal secular life? You shouldn't be that way. You should be tough, and you should be assertive, and you should take charge and fend for yourself, and all of those things. And Jesus says, no, that's not how you live. Do it the other way, and you will prosper, but not without some opposition. So that's not really a cheerful thought, but then nobody said the scriptures were going to be cheerful all the time, and nobody said Jesus' teaching was going to be cheerful all the time. But there it is. So I'll leave you with that, and tomorrow we'll talk about the next paragraph or so of this difficult chapter. And until then, see you later.